All right, let's dive into a video series called The Ministry of Truth. Now, this whole project is really built around one single powerful idea, that the official story we get, well, it's almost never the whole story. This explainer is going to be your guide to how this series digs up hidden histories and basically challenges everything we think we know. And this quote from the creator, it really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? You can feel the frustration. It's all about that huge gap between the simple, clean narratives we see on the news and the much messier, more complex truth that's often just sitting there in the documents, hiding in plain sight. So the whole series is built on this one big idea, that history isn't just a bunch of stuff that happened a long time ago. Nope, it's an active battlefield, an information battlefield. And the fight for what's true is happening right now, especially when a lie can travel around the world before the truth even gets its boots on. Which brings us to the fundamental question this whole project wants you to ask yourself. It's a challenge, really. A challenge to stop and think, hey, what if what I learned in school or what I saw on TV last night, what if that was just a simplified version, or worse, what if it was intentionally manipulated? See, the series argues that these incomplete stories aren't just an accident. It presents some pretty compelling evidence that official histories are very often shaped to protect powerful interests. So let's dig into a couple of really powerful examples the series uses to make its case. First up, the civil rights movement. It's a cornerstone of American history, right? We're taught to see it as this clear, straightforward fight for justice. But the Ministry of Truth peels back the curtain on the government's secret response to it. And let's just say it was anything but supportive. I mean, just read that again. It's a pretty shocking claim, and it comes straight from research into declassified documents. The series zeroes in on the FBI's COINTELPRO program. Get this. The FBI's own investigation found that the movement was not a communist plot. So what did they do? They allegedly launched a massive propaganda campaign to convince the public of the exact opposite. A campaign that, according to the series, went as far as sending death threats to Martin Luther King Jr. And you might be thinking, okay, but that was the 60s. While the series makes a strong case that this pattern didn't just disappear, it moves into the modern era to untangle the incredibly complex and contradictory stories around the war on terror and the rise of groups like ISIS. And this slide just lays out the disconnect perfectly. On one side, you've got the official story we all heard. The US is fighting terrorist groups. Simple enough. But on the other side, you've got the hidden reality the series pieces together from declassified emails and reports. A reality where the US was arming rebel groups that later became ISIS, all while top officials apparently knew that some of our key allies were funding those very same extremists. It's a lot to take in. So if the official story is this full of holes, what are we supposed to do? What's the solution? Well, that's where the series lays out its own mission, all wrapped up in that very provocative name, the Ministry of Truth. Now, the creator is super clear about the name. Yeah, it's a direct nod to Orwell's 1984. But, and this is the whole point, it's meant to be the exact opposite. Orwell's ministry rewrote history to serve the powerful. This project tries to use verifiable, hard evidence to dismantle propaganda, not create more of it. So how does it do that? It all comes down to these core principles. It's not about opinion or ideology. It's about following the paper trail. We're talking declassified government documents, historical records, whistleblower accounts, you name it. It's about tracing today's conflicts back to their actual roots and challenging the stories we've all just come to accept. And the foundation for the whole thing, the most important piece, is a meticulous commitment to accuracy. You know, maybe the most unique thing about this series is how it connects the dots across decades. It argues that these events that seem totally random and unrelated are actually chapters in a much bigger story, revealing these long-term patterns of how power really works. This timeline is the perfect example of that. I mean, look at it. The series draws a direct line from the military researching bat-borne biodelivery systems in the 40s, yes, that's a real thing, to the domestic propaganda of COINTELPRO in the 50s, all the way to the CIA arming rebels in Syria in 2013. The point it makes is that the tactics, the tools of the trade might change, but the underlying playbook, it stays eerily the same. These aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a continuous story that is still shaping our world right now. So when you boil it all down, this isn't just about showing you a bunch of old, dusty facts. It's about empowering you with a whole new lens to see the world, to understand the forces that are constantly trying to shape it, and to shape you. And this is it. This is the philosophy that drives the entire project. It's not just a tagline, it's a call to action. The whole idea is that if we can understand our real history, the unvarnished, messy version, we can start to protect ourselves from being manipulated. And just as important, we can share that knowledge and empower the people around us too. And we end on this. It's a powerful, deeply personal question from the creator that really just transforms this whole thing from a history project into a direct, moral challenge. It asks every single one of us, are we just going to be passive consumers of information, or are we going to be active seekers of the truth? And maybe most importantly, what responsibility do we have to go find it?